morning and happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. This is Watch Your Mouth Reviews. My name is James, and I'm here to give you, well, in this case, my unpopular opinion while trying to watch my mouth. And unfortunately, that's not going to happen, but that's the premise of my show. Will I watch my mouth? 9 out of 10, no. But that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. I'll say what's up to her.
Good morning, beautiful humans. Like, share, subscribe. I apologize in advance for the words that may come out of my mouth. That is all.
Absolutely. We apologize. Y'all, this is not going to be an easy, unpopular opinion because I did not agree with what the person who was being interviewed said. I think that is very dangerous. And I think that it is very telling of what somebody who has, access to money, how they really think in society. So let me say hello to everybody before we begin. Hi, Shani. We're just going to talk about, I'm just going to play a couple of scenes from the interview. I'm not going to play the whole interview. It's not really worth it. I watched the whole interview. I'm only going to point out the key things that everybody was talking about. So, and we're going to just discuss it, me and Mrs. Best, and some of y'all could be included. Hi, Shana. Thank you for being here. You guys, please subscribe to Shana_MCD. Her information is in my description box. Please show my girl some love. She's one of the very first YouTubers, content creators to embrace me. So I love Shana. Thank you for being here. I may have to keep my opinion to myself on this one. No, Shana, don't keep your opinions. No, please say what it is. I'm sorry that, I could have had you up here. I wish I would have thought to invite you. I am so sorry. But if you're able to type it, go ahead and type it out so we can hear it, because I would love to know your opinion as we give ours. So I'm gonna
Shana,
go.
it can't, baby, it can't be no worse than mine. I'm shaking in my little boots. I'm gonna try, but I don't have nice opinions on this at all. So it can't be no worse. Shana, you got this.
You got this, Shana. You do. But I'm just gonna play a couple of Carlos's little snippets that he has on his Instagram page, and then we'll probably discuss. That's not that bad at all. That's not that bad at all. But I'm thinking
That's
it was going to be worse than
actually
that.
that's actually like professionally
That was
and
nice.
personally,
Yes.
you have hit it spot on, and I encourage you to go work in mental health. We need more Black people in it anyway, Lord.
We sure do. I think about it
Diagnose,
all the time
fix it.
myself. Okay, so let me go ahead. My computer is still loading, which concerns me because I'm wondering if I'm about to lose reception here pretty soon. Here, hold on one second. I'm also lagging too. I see it. Let me go off camera for a minute. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, on my side, it is lagging. So I can hear you too. So I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to play the first video, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about it.
Oh, sorry, y'all. My phone I clicked my phone and it just started making noise. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's listen. I can't hear anything.
But even I told them on my birthday, in June, that I was like, we're not doing he, we're not doing man, we're not doing gay. And it was very freeing. And also it just was, it just was like, I wasn't like, I'm not, and it's very important, I think too, when you're, I hate the term coming out, but I think when you're telling people, about who you are telling them. I'm not looking for acceptance. I'm not looking for your validation. I am telling you what's going down. And yeah, we had that conversation, and it was it was very easy because I just told them, flat out, like I was like, this is, who I am, and this is how we're moving and grooving and going forward. And, even like son, I was like, the world tried to give me that label, like Magic Johnson's son. And I was like, well, he's dead. And now there's Miss Thing. Like, we're not doing that either. A big conversation. But I think what I loved about it was so easy, because we just said it and they were like, oh, okay. We'll do our best to understand that.
Like you said earlier, look, I know who I am. I love how I see in the mirror. I am shedding all of whatever I was there back then, who I am now. Has that cultivated a stronger relationship with your parents, or has it been challenging for you there too, just being, how you are now?
No, definitely we're not challenging. I think everything, honestly, in this era of my life has become so much easier. But even I told them on my birthday in June that I was like, we're not doing we're not doing man, we're not doing gay. Like, and it was very freeing. And also it just was, like, I wasn't like, I'm not, and it's very important, I think, too, when you're, I hate the term coming out, but I think when you're telling people about who you are telling them. I'm not looking for acceptance. I'm not looking for your validation. I am telling you what's going down. And yeah, we had that conversation, and it was, it was very easy because I just told them, flat out, like I was like, this is, who I am, and this is how we're moving and grooving and going forward. And, even like son, I was like, the world tried to give me that label, like Magic Johnson's son. And I was like, well, he's dead. And now there's Miss Thing.
Celebrity children are interesting to me. And the reason why I say celebrity children are interesting to me is because I feel like they live in a space that's not, one, reality, and two, not of this universe. Because for me, and I feel like you can come out however which way you choose. If you are someone of, homosexuality, bisexuality, asexuality, whatever the sexuality it is, you can come out however you choose. But to confuse people and to intentionally say, okay, well, I'm not looking for acceptance, I'm not looking for validation, this is what it is. I feel like there's a way to do that without saying those exact words, which is live in your truth regardless. And I feel like EJ Johnson does that, but you're not calling a thing a thing. And I appreciate you sharing with the world your insight on that, but at the same time, it's like it does not make sense. And I don't know if it's supposed to, and realistically, I don't really care one way or the other, but it does not make sense when you say to the world that it's not you coming out, but it's you coming out. Mrs. Best, am I lost here? Am I confused, or what's going on?
Here's the thing. This is past celebrity. I agree with Shana. This is mental illness. Something is wrong. Something has happened in this child's childhood to make they mindset go in this direction. I'm going to say this, and I don't judge people for who they date. I don't give a fuck what you got going on in your bedroom, right? But this is clearly a gay man that hates women, might want to be one, and is looking for a way to not acknowledge being gay. It's all a mess, and not every person that is trans or gay thinks this way, and not every person that is trans or gay or lesbian or in that community has mental illness, but this one do, because this shit didn't make no sense. A lot of things that EJ said made no sense. The simplest, you cannot get mad at the label of being Magic Johnson's son when you 6'7" and built like a fucking linebacker. What else are we supposed to do? When I look at you, I see your mama and your daddy in your face before I see that you are gay, straight, or anything in between. When you look at this person, you know whose child this is. So you can't get mad at that label. The other thing, right, Shana, the history of Magic Johnson back in the day, who knows what this poor baby was exposed to. So it's obviously taken a toll on them. The other thing, Let me explain something to the gay community, and y'all can cancel me if you want, but I'm going to be very clear because you cannot expect for everybody else to give you respect while not wanting to hear the perspective and give respect to others. And that goes both ways. But if you are heterosexual, that means that you are either a man or a woman that is attracted to the opposite sex. There is no in between. There is no sometimes. There is no, oh, we just had a fun night. That's what it is. If you are bisexual, that means you are attracted to both sexes. There's pansexual, asexual. If you are gay, that means you are attracted to men sexually and romantically. Even if you are in a marriage on the down low, hiding from society. So when EJ makes comments like, oh, we're not going to do gay tonight, anybody that sleep with you, my darling, is gay. They may not have came out publicly about it, but if you look at it from the textbook based definition of what it would mean to be gay, straight, all of those things, they would not align with straight or heterosexual, ergo term and nickname down low. You're still being categorized as someone who is gay. It's just the category that you've been subcategorized as is someone on the DL, just like there's feminine gay people and regular gay people and drag.
Yes. So since you brought that up, let's watch that clip of what he said because I thought that was also very interesting as well. Shout out to Carlos King for booking this interview. We appreciate you, Reality with the King, Carlos yourself. Thank you so much. Okay. What's going on? Why is my sound not working when I post on the video?
Lines on your spinoff was, you know, you and your sister liking the same guy.
Honestly, that is ultimately what got the show picked up. But also, you know, in terms of the gender and sexualities and stuff like that, it was very important because that happens. You know, I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. Like, it's just not a thing.
Tell me more about that.
You know, it's just, I think, like, if you ask any of the girls, like, they'll tell you the same. And I think they're just labels. You know, that's what, like, I don't care what, you know, like, I'm dating someone. I'm like, I don't care what you identify as or what you call yourself, as long as you're happy being who you are. But no, but to be honest, it's like, that's why I don't go to gay clubs. I don't go to, you know, gay things, because it's like the men that I attract are not there. And also, like, they're like, you know, they kind of like wave you off. You're just like, oh, that, you know, hey girl, like, you know, it's not, you're not in here like the rest of us are. You know, it's just, it's always, but it's, I never really understood it until now, because before, when I would go and I just was like, there's something about this room. It's like, it's almost like they don't want me here. Like, I'm not really in it here because I'm not presenting as a man. I'm not presenting in that way.
And to be clear, the gay community room.
Yeah.
Of your own community. Yeah.
But it's not like a shameful thing, or just like, oh, they're mean to me. But it's like, these are not my men in terms of attraction. Now, if I'm just going to have a kiki, sure. But like, these are not the men that are interested in me in that capacity. I do that when I go to the straight rooms.
So. So has it always been that way for you in terms of when it comes to men? Has it always been what some people consider the straight guy always being the one that would approach you?
Or somebody who, has been intimate and dating, you know, women for most of their life, or like up until then, for sure. Absolutely. It has always been that way, but now it's like even more so now that I definitely present in more of a feminine way, because also, like, it's like my energy is that.
So I gotta address something. So Mrs. Best, come back on mic, please, because I need to address something. I did not mute you. I don't know what the hell happened.
No, my StreamYard is tripping.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait, I thought you did. I was sitting there like, wait, no.
I was talking and I looked and it said mute. And then the whole I'm tired of StreamYard.
Yes.
But I don't know what y'all heard, but I'm sorry.
You
I
made
didn't
all
just
of
start
your
talking
point.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, you made all of your point leading into this video, so I felt it was appropriate to go ahead and play it. But y'all, hey Keywan, thank you for being here. And y'all do what Keywan says, do what Shana says, support the channel, like the video, comment, and subscribe. Now, here's my thing. That was the clip that got everybody talking. So Carlos, you got your wild moment because that was the clip that definitely did it. That was the phrase that got everybody speaking. Everyone was confused. Everyone's like, what the hell is he talking about? So let me kind of put this in perspective because I felt like he just said it wrong, but it's too late. The damage is always done. So EJ likes men that are unassuming, that are more straight looking and probably walk on this earth straight, maybe DL, maybe just more masculine than, the stereotype of gay men. He likes the more masculine ones. They exist out there. They're out there. Trust me, they are. But I would much rather EJ say that and be responsible because we have to understand for me being an openly gay male, I do date men. I've been in relationships with men for the past 7 years. 7 years. It wasn't always like this for me, but for the past 7 years, I have been in 4 open relationships. Well, 2 that I went public with, but 4 open relationships. Like if you asked us, we would say it. So for me, I just feel like the way I would have answered this question, because I also like men who are unassuming. I don't like the more flamboyant or effeminate, gay men. That's not my real attraction. My real attraction is actual, masculine men. I would have said it in that aspect. But to say that only straight men find you attractive, I think is very dangerous to say that out loud because someone who is straight would not go after you.
Thank
That
you.
means that
Thank you.
that means that in the public, if he identifies as being straight, it's because he probably just didn't say anything. He probably, is masculine, comfortable in his sexuality, but feels like it's probably nobody's business. So if he approaches you, it's probably because he's been with another man before. I don't believe that a straight man who has been with a woman is going to automatically find EJ Johnson, 6'10", and say, "Oh my gosh, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen," and just goes like that. Now, I do think that men do approach him. I'm not saying that men don't approach him. I'm sure men do approach him. And I'm sure he shoots down a lot of men approaching him, one, probably knowing who he is, and two, his status. I feel like people do that. But at the same time, to say a straight man is going to fall and actually pick, especially if the man is shorter than 6 foot, is going to see you and go, "Oh my God, I always wanted to be with Joanna Man." No, it's not going to happen like that. I'm sorry, EJ. No.
Not Joanna, man.
It's not. No, I'm just saying because he reminds me of that scene. When Tommy Davidson was trying to get with Joanna Man, it was like, and not realizing it was a man. That's what that reminds me of. I'm sorry to have given him that reference and said that, but that's what it was given to me. Like it was given that scene in Joanna Man where Tommy Davidson playing Little Puffy was trying to get with Joanna. It was really given that for me, and I was like, that
EJ
does
is
not
nothing
happen.
short EJ is nothing short of delusional. Because baby, if you think when you walk in a room that you present as anything other than a man, you out your mind. EJ is big as hell. It's kind of unfortunate. Big as hell. And the other thing is a lot of unassuming men, in my experience, because we have a lot of them in the Bay Area, especially in
Yes.
San Francisco, are not attracted to a feminine gay man. A lot of them want somebody that's kind of like them too. So
Yes.
that's
Thank
the
you.
thing. Like you're presenting as more feminine, so you're having a harder time. I feel like he just doesn't. I don't know why, but I really
No,
just
I feel
strong
like he.
that EJ just does not like or has like some sort of weird disdain towards women. Because I'm sure that there are people, because something you said that makes sense based on status, how EJ lives his life, who his family is. Like, I don't think he's not getting men to hit on him and try to
Mhm.
date him and stuff. But it seems like EJ wants the problematic man or the man that's attached to a woman. And I have to question that. I have to genuinely question that. It's weird. It's genuinely weird.
You
Because
know
I
what
know
it
there's somebody
is?
else.
Yeah, and I hate to say these terms, so I'm going to say allegedly, but it's giving predatorial. It's giving female cat. It's giving you're seeking out these men, looking for the task to turn them the other way around. That's what it's given for me. Because there's never been a time for me. Now, I know, here's the thing. Now, I have to say this without giving experts. Now, I know I jokingly say Michael B. Jordan is my husband. I know I jokingly say that on YouTube. I know I say it all the time, y'all. I do. I get that. I want to be clear. I do not think there's no way in hell I have a chance with Michael B. Jordan. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm not delusional. I play around because it's fun to do. I just love it. And to give y'all an excerpt of what my type is, if I were to say Michael B. Jordan is the closest runner up that everybody knows. Now, there's a whole lot more on Instagram. Shout out to Instagram and thank you for the Instagram models. There's a whole lot more that fits better than Michael B. Jordan, but everybody knows who Michael B. Jordan is. So aesthetically, that is my type. So that's why I say that. Now, I don't say it as, oh my gosh, if I see Michael B. Jordan, he better watch out because it's on. I don't say it like that because I don't think that that's possible. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think this is not prison. This is not Oz. I do not think that that is possible. So, therefore,
Oz. Oh, Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. So,
horrible reference.
Well, I'm just saying it's not that. So for me,
from Joanna Man to Oz, no more movies for you. Anything you watch going forward for the next 72 hours needs to be made after 2012. Cause what? Not Oz. Y'all go watch Oz, and you'll see. You'll see, and make sure your therapist on speed dial afterward.
Yes, please. But I'm just saying, like, it's crazy to say that. Like, it's crazy for him to interview and actually say with a straight face that straight men are attracted. Like, I don't believe that. So I had to say that because I know people are gonna say, well, James, you talk about Michael B. Jordan all the time. I know I do. That's why I said it's only shits and giggles and fun. This is YouTube.
Yeah, but you're not talking about taking him from a woman. You're not talking about, it's not. It's definitely different, but EJ is a lot.
Now there are more men who do like EJ type. They just on the low.
Exactly.
No, I think it's DL, but I think he's confused. I don't think that he really thinks he can go into a club where predominantly straight people are and thinking that he can get a man at the end of it. And if he does get a man at the end of it, that means that man was already questioning his sexuality or saw who he is and thinking he can get some money up out of him. I think it's transactional. I do. I don't think it's a genuine connection. Because if it was a genuine connection, he would have a man and be married. So I'm just saying, yeah, Keywan, he said all of that. And it was kind of like, wow. Like, as a gay man, I don't co-sign that because I don't think I could take a straight man away from a woman. I don't think that. I don't think I'm that powerful. I don't. And if I do, well, I've never taken a man from a woman. But if a straight man does come at me, I'm not thinking he's straight.
Right.
At the very most, I'm thinking he's bisexual. Because what is you coming up to me for? Now, I've had men like play flirt with me. I've had men do that before. Like, and that to me, I felt like didn't cross no bounds. But I feel like when we cross bounds, that's when I start to question it. Okay, so you was never straight to begin with. That's how I feel. So I do have an open-ended conversation of like, hey, sometimes men be on the DL. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I wish men would be so much secure where they just don't give a fuck what people think and just be with who they want to be with. I really wish we were in that kind of time because I think it would help people, be more sensible. But yeah, even men who are gay for pay are DL, and he needs to realize that. That's what I really think he's talking about. I really think that the context clue in this, Shana, is I think he's speaking to those men. I think those are men that are trying to get something out of him or trying to attach themselves to him in some kind of capacity because of his name. I do not, as I said, I do not believe, and I need to see EJ Johnson, invite me out to the club with you so I can see what you do. So I can change my mind and come on my platform and say, oh no, I saw with my own eyes, y'all, them straight men was really on him. I need to see it. And even then, I'm probably still going to question it.
I think the issue with EJ too is he just does not like himself and exudes like insecurity. It definitely needs to figure out himself and his place and things like that, because all of this was unnecessary. It's like the statement seemed I don't know. A piece of me don't trust this motherfucker either. And it's like, did you say all of this just so that this interview would go viral? But I'm going to hold Carlos King accountable because what EJ said is actually dangerous for the gay community. They already have a lot of adversity and things because people feel their ways in this country. So when you come out making comments that could be viewed as like an attack on women or an attack on people who are straight, you're giving communities that are against you more of a reason to be against you. Confirmation bias, people. So it's interesting that Carlos could sit up there and not say anything or even try to give any form of an example, because I get that he's the interviewer and has to do his job, but part of being a good interviewer is questioning certain things and providing education, and Carlos could have done that as a member of the gay community, but instead he let this fool ramble and make a fool of himself as he do the people on Love and Marriage Huntsville and Bell Collective. So
I don't think EJ is trans. I think EJ is just effeminate. How can I say this word today?
feminine.
Effeminate. Yeah, I think he's like feminine. I just don't think he's, because he doesn't give me trans. He just gives me somebody who is very tall, likes this, very auntie-ish hairstyle, and wants to, yes. That's what it does not give
And
me
that
trans.
could be your problem too, EJ. You sitting up here talking about all these different things and who you attracted. You need a stylist, okay? Because you could be feminine gay. Saucy Santana is a great example of somebody
Yes.
who's feminine but also gay. Sometimes he'll put on a wig and makeup, beat face, women's clothes. Other times he's got his shortcut and is doing what he do. But either way, it looked good. EJ looks like a damn fool. How you got the auntie haircut looking like you could have played in the WNBA during the Lisa Leslie era, and then you got on this necklace that looked like faux cheap gold change. You didn't put no earrings on. Maybe instead of hating on women and trying to sleep with their men, EJ, you need to make friends with one, because you can't have a short cut and big neck and no jewelry. Where's the earring?
EJ is delusional. I absolutely agree. But at the same time, he's in the space where you can be. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Hollywood is a space where all things exist under the sun exist there. It does. So he's in the space where, yes, in Hollywood, this would make sense to a lot of people. But in the rest of America, no, this didn't make sense at all. So he is a bit delusional. But there, he's in a space where those things do exist. What he's saying does probably exist. We just know the actual facts of what that is in sexuality terms. Yes. Not auntie hairstyle.
It is.
It is an auntie hairstyle.
It is.
I have an aunt. She's no longer here with us. Actually, I have two. She is here with us. She's in Atlanta. Has the same exact hairstyle today.
I got an auntie with this hairstyle. Shout
Yes.
out Phyllis. Lord.
I ain't gonna say my auntie name on there because I know she watches me. I ain't gonna say, but she gonna whoop my ass later. So let me talk about her hair. But yeah, I have an auntie who had this hairstyle, and yeah, and she used to rock it every time. This was her style in between her braids. That's what I'm gonna say.
EJ needs help because
Yeah.
what is the color scheme? Then I'm looking, you got a silver bracelet, but a gold necklace, no earrings.
There's two things I want to address before we get into the comments and talk about more questioning. You said two things that were very prominent that I don't want to skate over. One, Saucy Santana being your example, and him being Wazel's swag.
Mm-hmm.
That is what EJ is talking about, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Zell Swag plays it up a little bit, but for the most part that I've seen Zell Swag before Love and Hip Hop, he was very much a masculine man. I don't know. Love and Hip Hop kind of made him a little bit more questionable now. But before Love and Hip Hop, he was very much on that time of being more masculine. He really was. So, yeah, that was one thing. And the second thing you said is Carlos. I'm gonna say this allegedly, and Carlos, I know you don't watch me, but just in case you do, this is not a slight to you. It's just how I feel, and you can come on my channel or you can DM me personally and tell me this is not you at all. But I feel like you think like this too. Something in me tells me you think just like EJ, and I could be wrong. I don't really care one way or the other because I show life, and I'm not dating you, so I don't really care. But I feel like what EJ said, there's somewhere in agreements in your mind that I think you feel like this is true for you too. And you may not agree with the optics of what he said, like this whole straight man. I think you know the difference. I think Carlos is smart enough to know the difference between gay and straight, and knowing that a straight man, you can't take a straight man and bring him over to the other side just willingly like that. I think you know that, but I feel like there's been times I look at Carlos and I'm thinking, yeah, and oh, JB, we here with it. We here with it. Thank you, because I did not want to say this, but yes, that was the first example when he was crying on that one reunion, pleading with Martell. That energy was so weird to me.
Carlos also would I've never disagreed with you on your opinion of Carlos. I don't know if you're gonna give it fully on here, but as it relates to this topic, yes. Yes, James. And
I'm
more
trying to be
yes.
careful. That's why I'm trying to be very careful and skate around it. That's why I did it very softly. But yes, Carlos is giving examples of this as well. And Martell is one of them. Now, the thing about Martell, I've always said I don't believe Martell, and this is allegedly. I'm not trying to come out, even though Tisha has said it. I'm not saying I never believed Martell was straight. I just don't believe it. And it's because of the trigger words that he used in his marriage to Melody. He says sexually, she does not satisfy me. Now, when you say that a person that you're attracted to, that you can't let go of, does not satisfy you sexually, those are buzzwords. Those are not just, simple, okay, well, maybe we should try this next week or something. That is saying that that woman, beautiful, sexually appealing woman, does not satisfy you. Those are buzzwords. Sorry, they just are. So, yeah, I just don't believe when men tell me things like that, I question their sexuality. It's that. And then when men constantly complain about women doing certain things, I question their sexuality. Or men who just hate women just because, or find something wrong with that woman to not date her. It's one thing if something just comes out, fine. That's a reason. But if you're intentionally looking for reasons not to be with a woman, I question your sexuality. I do. I question it. Because if she's not giving you any reason to question her, then you shouldn't be questioning her.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Show has.
Yep. The way he treated Mark. Yes. That was another thing that a lot of men who fight homosexuality, they do this too. They always make it wrong or bad to be gay, saying that he didn't want his children to be in the man with his house because of him and his husband. I remember that. That shit was crazy to me. Because that man has been in them kids' life all this damn time. So now that you and Melody are no longer together, now this is an issue. Yeah. So thank you, JB. Yes, that was another buzzword teller of Martell. And I think Carlos sees it and he just don't want to act on it because Martell has not publicly, had said that he's ever been with the man or anything like that. So I think Carlos is playing it safe. But yeah, no, Carlos has definitely shown this as well. That's why I feel like in some way, I feel like Carlos sees it the same way. I do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But I'm being very careful because I don't want to skate around it. But I just wanted to make sure. I feel like this interview, I feel like I'm seeing two gay men. I don't care what Miss Thang is over there saying. I feel like I'm seeing two gay men having a conversation about being excited about being with, their comings of straight men. And I don't think that that's a safe thing to do, especially in a conscious time of where we are today. I feel like that was very dangerous to say.
It's not just safe, but it's also disrespectful.
Yes.
It's incredibly disrespectful because you're being self-centered and considering a need, but you're not considering the harm that it causes to the women involved who probably have no idea that their husbands would even be wrapped up in something like that. Separate from any debate on sexuality, it's like ethically just wrong to be interrupting people's marriages so willingly just because it takes you a little harder to find people that would be interested in dating you. It makes zero sense, but
it doesn't make sense. And I just feel like I'm not mad at Carlos for getting this interview. I'm not, because build your platform up. I'm trying to do the same thing with mine. I respect Carlos for this, but I just feel like there's just certain things that I would be conscious of when it comes to my platform and you giving your interview. Yes, you're allowed to have your truth, but at the same time, it's like, okay, but you need to be somewhat of correct or politically correct, because what you just said was just absolutely crazy. Like I have to speak out. I'm like, that's not anything that you should be saying, especially because you are a public figure and you are privileged. That's not something you should be having coming out your mouth. Now, if you're saying, yes, a straight man is gay for pay for me, he ain't straight. We know he DL, but you know, if you wanted to say it like that, fine. I wouldn't have an issue with that because I know men like that too. We'll be all up in their women face, but if a man got $500 of rent is crazy, I know men, they probably will not get penetrated themselves, but they would go, yeah, I've known men like that. Went back to the women, didn't even do it, never did it again. I actually know 2 guys like that. I went to school with them. Times was tough. One man got a car out of the situation. One night of sex with a man, he'll never say he's bisexual. He said, this is what he tells me all the time. I had a curious moment and I got a car out of it. I said, well, you do you. I couldn't do it, but you do you. But that's pretty much all that I wanted to say. I don't, the rest of the interview was cool. He talked about, what his growing up was like. He talked about his father. We already know Magic Johnson's history. I'm not trying to go into all that. He talked about his mom. I love Cookie. I do. I love her down. But yeah, I don't really care about all that either. Mrs. Best, would there be anything you would like to say that we may not have covered on this interview that you found interesting?
I just want him to put on some earrings. That's all.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna end this on this note. I would love to live in a world where I could be, almost aloof and delusional, and have such a status where it makes me, in the elite, have access to money that would never run out. I would love to be in those rooms and be able to have interviews like this and not be able to be canceled, not be able just to say what I want, and have almost 40% of the world agreeing with me, 60% of like, what the fuck are you talking about? I would love to live in that world where nothing could touch me like that. And I could say shit like this. Just saying, I would love to, but that's not the realm or the starlight that I was born into. I was born into someone who actually has common sense, someone who has studied most of his life in the world of biology, understanding the body, understanding the mind, understanding the study of life to the degree that I do. But this interview was very interesting. And Carlos, you a brave soul, because there's no way I could have did that sitting there across from him. Why not find a willing open couple cool with it? Who you talking about, EJ or me? Because if we talking about EJ don't want no woman.
Of course, he's talking about EJ. That's what the video's on.
I was just playing with JB. No, but EJ don't want the couple. EJ don't want the couple.
Because they are out there. They are definitely out there in today's time. And he's of the generation that is more open to things like that. But Lord, not let her watch.
No, Miss Thang, let me tell you something. Miss Thang don't want the couple. Miss Thang wants to be in the place of the couple. She wants to be in the place of the wife.
Yep. That's
exactly all that is. Like, to me, I'm sorry, but unless Yao Ming is available, I don't know. Because most men, I'm telling
honestly, and it's funny, EJ doesn't think of that, because if you date honestly and emphatically instead of going and doing all the foolery, it may take you a little long to find your person. But when you do, you could have that structure that obviously EJ is for some reason jealous of. Just because you're gay does not mean you cannot have a healthy marriage where it's the dynamic of something similar to a husband and a wife. It's not going to look like that because, it's a husband and a husband, but your marriage is the dynamic that you make it. So take your time and date. Find somebody that wants you for you and go from there. But to be dating people on the low and putting yourself and others in situations, breaking up homes, and then coming on the internet and trying to tell the rest of the world that we are wrong and something that everybody else is right on it's actually crazy.
It is crazy, and I just feel like for me, I would say, one last word to EJ: be careful what you put out in the atmosphere, and be careful how you speak. I get you have a lot of money. I get you come from a very prestige family, and I get that, you're part of the elite status in Hollywood. I totally get all of that. But at the same time, that doesn't stop from the optics of the world and the universe from working against you. I would just be careful about saying things like that, because you don't know who you could end up with, where that man that you love could go in the opposite direction of you and get somebody you would never think he would be with. So I would be careful, because I've also seen that happen too. So just be careful with how you say that, EJ. or Miss Thang or whatever you want to be known as. I don't know. But I'm just saying that was very dangerous. Like, I feel like, to me, it's hard because I know that there are men who would love to have, the optics of a straight man by their side. But sometimes what that had come with was a lot of damage. I've known men who have been severely hurt. I've known men who have been almost, killed behind, men not being, being DL and not wanting some people to know. I've known a lot of different situations in the community that have happened just behind this thought process. So I would just say, I don't want nothing to happen to EJ. I don't wish that upon him, but I would tell him to be careful, because that's a very fine line to be skating on. Just saying that, one gay man to another, that is a very fine line. And Carlos, that's what I'm saying. Thank you, JB. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You don't know, in those realms of who you're, identifying as straight, you don't know what that man is fighting with himself with. Some men just cannot wrap their minds around that idea of it. I've been with that man as well, where they can't fully wrap their minds around the idea of two men being together, even though that's what they're attracted to, and in some way, form, that's what they wanted, but can't wrap their mind around the idea of what they wanted. That is crazy, even coming out my mouth, because that should be the idea, that you want this, right? Why would that idea of it scare you if this is what you wanted? But as we say, sometimes some men don't know how to compartmentalize feelings and emotions, and some men don't. That's why therapy is important, y'all. We don't just promote it just to be promoting it. Therapy is important. It really is. But that's pretty much it. Best wishes to EJ Johnson. We hope you get everything that you want, need, and desire. We hope that it doesn't come off of, you ruining someone else's, optic of life. We hope that you ain't trying to get in the middle of a couple and taking someone else's man. We hope that whoever comes to you is coming honest, direct, and is the of masculine personnel that you need. I'm hoping the best for you, EJ Johnson. Mrs. Best, anything you would like to add on that?
No, great live though.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody being here. Shout out to my replay game. Sorry you couldn't make the live, but leave a comment. Let me know what you also think of this interview. Have you watched the whole interview? Tell me what your thoughts is. Was there something that you wish I would have touched on that maybe would have got attention? Let me know what you think. Thank you also to my live replay game, or excuse me, my live game. Thank y'all for commenting. We appreciate you too. I will see you guys on my next live, which will be tomorrow, Married to Medicine. Thank you once again. Have a great one, y'all. Bye-bye.